Can you be fined just for flying your drone over certain land? So what actually is an SSSI? It stands for Site of Special Scientific Interest. And these are areas that are protected because of wildlife, habitats, environmental or geographical importance. And here's where it matters for drone pilots, or drone operators, as we're sometimes referred to. These sites are protected by law, but that doesn't automatically mean that you can't fly over them. That's the first thing to understand. Because, again, people jump to conclusions. They see protected land and think, I'm not allowed anywhere near that. But the law doesn't work like that. There's a difference between being on land and flying over land. What is actually restricted? On SSSI land, certain activities are controlled. Things like disturbing protected wildlife, damaging habitat, interfering with protected features. And if your drone causes any of that, that's where you can get into trouble. Because now you're affecting what the site is protected for. And that can lead to enforcement fines and serious consequences. But just flying over at height without causing disturbances, that's a different situation. And that's where people often get caught out. Because again, it comes down to perception. You might think, I'm high enough, I'm fine. But if your drone disturbs birds, affects wildlife behaviour, or causes stress to animals, particularly protected species, then you've crossed the line, even if you didn't mean to. And intent doesn't protect you here. Impact does. That's where the difference is. Now, there's another layer to this. Some SSSI sites have special local restrictions, bylaws, or managed access rules, and those can affect where you can launch, where you can operate, and what's allowed nearby. So it's not just about the label, it's about the detail behind it. Now, can you be fined just for flying over SSSI land? Not automatically, but if your flight causes disturbance or breaches protections, then aye, you absolutely can. And that's where people get it wrong. They think, if I'm not standing on it, I'm fine. But if your drone is affecting the site, that's what matters. Now, this is where you need to be smart, because even if something is technically allowed, it doesn't always mean it's a good idea. Wildlife doesn't care about your interpretation of the law. If your drone affects it, you're the problem. Now, the real takeaway is this. SSSI doesn't automatically ban drone flight, but it does mean that you need to be far more aware, far more cautious, and far more responsible, because the consequences are very real. And if you get it wrong, it's not just a warning, it can be enforcement. And it's not just you as a drone operator that can be affected, it's the wildlife, and that's important. Now, if you think this is a grey area, wait until you start flying near water, because this is where things get even less clear. Boats, ships, moving targets. Who controls that space? What rules actually apply? This is where people start guessing. So watch the next video. Can you legally fly over boats? That's the question I'll be asking to find out, is it more complicated than that?